AskReddit by just suspect 5904. What happened to the most popular kids in your school? Lawyer, doctor, current NBC anchor in Lubbock, track and field coach for high school, physical therapist, engineer, prison for involuntary vehicular manslaughter and DUI. You had me till the end. My HS graduating class was 952 people. I do not even know who the most popular people were, lol. My class was about that size, and I remember always thinking that many of the high school stereotypes you would see on TV and film didn't seem to apply at a school that huge. People who might have been the school bully in a smaller school are properly segregated, and people who might have been an outcast in a smaller school could always find a clique of similarly minded weirdos. Popularity was never a school-wide thing because the orchestra people, the jocks, and goths, the potheads, etc. all had their own separate leaders. Also, as a result, we would often have a lot of cross-clique friendships and mixed parties where most people tended to be generally cool with each other. Small town. There are always exceptions, but most kids who were popular were friendly, outgoing, well-dressed, and emotionally stable. That happened because they came from families with more money and better educated parents. Those parents often provided better mentoring, ensured they went to college, and as a result the kids ended up professionals who did reasonably well for themselves. This is a very unpopular and underreported reality, as the unpopular kids desperately want to believe the popular guys end up working at the local gas station or Walmart once their days as sports stars or heartthrobs are gone. While the nerds go on to become rich and successful exactly because of reasons that made them unpopular in school. Unfortunately for them, popularity is often based on social status and people skills. Two key assets in life at any age. I haven't been keeping tabs on anyone from my class save for myself. So I guess that makes me the most popular person in my class as far as I know. I'm not doing great. I try not to follow myself too closely. That's exactly what he wants. They're doing fine. Contrary to what Reddit would have you believe, most of the popular kids in schools weren't bullies in my experience. They were kids who for the most part were nice, had a stable home life, and maybe happened to be fairly athletic. Same here. The popular kids in my school were popular because they got along with everybody. Kids that were mean weren't very popular because they weren't very likable. They almost all in real estate, sales or homemaking. I noticed this too for a ton of people from HS. What's up with that? Turned out just like the rest of us. Some were successful AF, some discovered being a dick had repercussions, and some took it to the bank. The real shockers are the homecoming queens. Some turned out fantastic and some ended up loony. So yeah. Turned out just like the rest of us. My wife and I went to her 10-year reunion. The homecoming queen was a very pretty girl and batshit crazy. By the end of the night there were 3 women crying in the bathroom. Said crazy woman had let the cat out of the bag on a bunch of infidelity that she caused and left with a completely different man than her fiancé. My wife said some things never change. Last I heard she was still crazy, but willing to discuss amazing sales opportunities with you if you wanted financial freedom. I'm old. Graduated from high school in 1970. My classmate rundown, one of the most popular ones, came up with the name Windows while a VP at Microsoft. One became a state governor and a US senator. Left politics in disgrace over racist comments. One is a hotshot on Wall Street. One of the less popular ones headed up a major record label for a while. One was once mayor of a coastal town. Another less popular one was the victim of a serial killer. Another thoroughly unpopular one faked his death to get out of some financial fraud. Most, popular and unpopular, faded into obscurity as most of us do. Heard about a death just this week. Time marches on. Was the politician Steve King of Iowa? My favorite is that the star wrestler, who was a bully, had a one-night stand with the star cheerleader years later. It resulted in a pregnancy and she now complains on Facebook that he is a deadbeat dad. I bet she also wasn't very kind. Jamie had a chance. Well, she really did. Instead she dropped out and had a couple of kids. Mark still lives at home cause he's got no job. Just plays guitar and smokes a lot of pot. Jay committed suicide. Brandon OD'd and died. What the hell is going on? Cruelest dream, reality. I can't remember a single person from school. Lol, what kind of mushrooms were you creaming? Deleted. One of if not the most popular girl in my grade had money. Her parents owned the only liquor store in county. Dry counties for 45 miles. Well, that gravy train ended when the county went wet and prices got competitive. Problem was they apparently never saved money the whole time. Then their regulars saw that the price was much lower at the gas station compared to what they had been paying them, like 30% over SRP. They closed very quickly. All their luxury vehicles got sold but they had the house paid. They moved after a while. I saw her 3 years post graduation and she had doubled her weight and was having pics printed of her fiancé, who I found out was a trust fund guy after the fact. The souped up muscle car in his pics was a hint. He broke it off with her like a month later. Harris was he figured out she was just there for money. Most of that info I got secondhand and I was only present for the pictures part. I don't use Facebook so I never verified anything. I also do not care to investigate. I've stopped letting HSBS live in my head rent free. He was a theater kid, a musician, and generally just life of the party. He was gang raped in college and became a shut-in. He and his mother moved to California and effectively dropped off the face of the earth. We used to be close. Like, sleepovers and stuff. Hung out all the time. Haven't heard from him in probably 15 years, and have no way to contact him anymore. Hope you're okay out there, Johnny. OMG, this was so tragic. I hope the offenders were punished. The most popular happened to be the highest performing. Most of them didn't thrive after completing college. I think the rigid process of accomplishing assigned tasks as they are presented screws people up when they are met with the real world and all of a sudden it's finally up to them to learn how to improvise. I wasn't a popular kid, but a similar thing happened to me. School was easy for me because the information need to complete any given assignment could be mostly found within a few resources that were covered during that section. In the real world, problems were so much more open-ended. I wasn't really prepared for that. Luckily, though, I pretty quickly realized that an overwhelming amount of folks are in a fake it till you make it mindset. Took me a bit longer than I'm sure my classmates would have predicted for me, but I'd say I'm at a pretty stable spot now career-wise. M took a breakup badly, took a bad beating from the cops, took to hard drugs, found his body in the river. A tried to get clever with 4 guys over a pool table, outside beating left him quadriplegic. P a terrible bully, tormented dozens of kids, all younger than him, throughout all 5 years of senior school, now a social work child counselor and all-round good guy for those who don't know. Cunt. K. Professor of Science and MBE recipient. J. Couldn't get over the death of his brother through alcoholism, so proceeded to drink himself to death. Go figure. You know that bully probably learned that behavior from abusive parents. Sounds like he eventually figured it out and chose to make a difference. I had popular kids in my school who were popular because they were the loud and disruptive, too cool for school jocks and mean girls type. They are not up to much last time I heard. I also had popular kids in my school who were popular because they were extremely charismatic and well put together. These folks are doing just fine. Was a popular-ish kid, currently in school. Other people in my friend group. Dropped out of Ivy League. Got pregnant in freshman year at Ivy League. Dropped out of West Coast CS school for a startup. Not going well. On track for med school but not currently doing well on MCAT. Considering quitting medicine. Went to Europe to model. Not going well. Doesn't look too good for me ATM lol. Good luck to the friend on the MCAT. That was a dark time for me. Last I heard they were failing to organize a 10-year reunion. I think it technically happened, but the Facebook group where they organized it has like 5 people in it. Also, 2 of them are ministers now, and wow would I have stories to tell their congregations. Don't know, don't care. Graduated in 1998, left for the Navy and never went back. Don't know what happened to any of them. All I know is that they have a lot of children. They are still popular in the lives that they inhabit and for all intents and purposes look like they are happy. Guys got bald, girls got fat. Yeah, I went to one of my reunions. It was as if everyone had swelled. Joan Cusack, gross point blank. A girlfriend of mine that I knew since kindergarten was appointed a California State Supreme Court judge. The kids who were popular in my school came from rich families. Most of them simply went to rich schools and got jobs that didn't really involve working. Now the cycle continues.